I thought I had everything figured out. At 26, my life was on a stable course. I had a successful career, a beautiful home, and a man I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. Hunter and I had been together for 4 incredible years, and every day felt like a blessing. I had raised my younger brother, Connor, since he was 16 after our parents disowned him for being gay. He was my family, my responsibility, and I took him in without hesitation. We had a bond forged in struggle, and I thought nothing could ever tear us apart. But life has a funny way of proving you wrong. It was Connor's 19th birthday last weekend, and he wanted to celebrate big. He invited his friends over, all young, carefree, and ready to party like there was no tomorrow. They were 18 to 22, full of energy and excitement, while I was standing on the edge of adulthood, far removed from those wild nights of my early 20s. Hunter and I were planning to head out, let the kids have their fun, and spend the evening quietly somewhere else. But Connor insisted we join them. "We're not too old to have a little fun, right?" Hunter said, his eyes gleaming with nostalgia. It felt like a chance to relive a part of ourselves we hadn't tapped into in years, so against my better judgment, I agreed. The drinks started flowing, the music blaring, and soon we were all swept up in the moment. We laughed, joked, and reminisced, and for a brief time, I forgot about the gap between my life and theirs. Then, Connor suggested we play Never Have I Ever, a classic drinking game where secrets come to light and inhibitions are stripped away. I hesitated. I wasn't sure if this was a good idea, but it was all in good fun, right? A few rounds in, things were going well, everyone was tipsy, and the questions were playful and light. But then it happened. Someone said, "Never have I ever cheated." I felt my heart stop for a second, but I didn't drink. I wasn't thinking clearly. Who wants to relive their worst mistakes, especially when they happened nearly a decade ago? It was a long-forgotten part of my life, a moment of immaturity when I was 17, and I had grown past it. I had worked hard to become the person I am today, someone loyal, committed, and deeply in love with Hunter. I had never cheated since. But Connor knew. He knew about that brief, stupid mistake from my past. He knew about my teenage relationship that ended in disaster because of one foolish choice. And before I could stop him, he blurted out, "Hey sis, what the hell? You know you cheated on, insert X's name. You have to drink to that." The room went silent. The playful energy was sucked out in an instant. I could feel Hunter's eyes on me, searching my face for an explanation. The weight of the moment crushed me. I looked at him, but before I could say a word, he stood up and walked out. I followed him, stumbling through my explanations, my words slurring in my panic. "Hunter, it was nothing. It was so long ago. I was young, stupid, and I made a mistake. I've never cheated since. You're the love of my life, you know that." But he didn't want to hear it. His past, filled with the betrayal of his ex-fiancée who had cheated on him, had left scars I thought had healed. I underestimated the pain he still carried. He turned to me, his face hard, his voice cold. "You cheated, and you didn't even tell me." With those words, he ended our relationship. Just like that. 4 years, gone in a moment. I stood there, stunned, as he packed his things and walked out of my life. I felt like I was floating above my own body, watching my entire world crumble. How could one drunken game destroy everything? How could one stupid comment from my brother turn my entire future upside down? I returned to the living room, numb and heartbroken. Connor, realizing what had happened, tried to apologize. He swore he didn't mean to hurt me or ruin my relationship, that he hadn't thought before speaking. But his words were like daggers. I had raised him, sacrificed so much to give him a home when no one else would. And now, because of his thoughtlessness, my life was in ruins. I couldn't look at him. I couldn't even be in the same room. The betrayal I felt was overwhelming. I had opened my home and heart to him, and in return, He had shattered everything I had worked for. I felt so much anger, but more than that, I felt empty, completely and utterly empty. The person I had built my life around, the man I had planned to marry, was gone. And the brother I had protected and cared for had thrown it all away with a single careless sentence. The next morning, I served Connor an eviction notice. I couldn't bear the sight of him. He begged me to reconsider, tears in his eyes, pleading that he never meant to ruin my life. But I was beyond reason. He had destroyed my future. After everything I had done for him, I felt nothing but betrayal. I told him he had to go. Was I being unreasonable? Maybe. But at that moment, my heart was shattered, and I couldn't think rationally. All I could see was the wreckage of my life, my fiancé gone, my brother's betrayal still fresh, and my home that once felt like a safe haven now suffocating me.